My name is Moss. Moss Ignacio.
Nice to meet you.
Ignacio and Roy Fisher.
Ignacio Jose.
Karina.
Arena.
Ignacio.
And Adolfo.
Ignacio.
Hi there.
Go with him and name bench.
Yes.
And you can take a seat here. We'll get you. Yeah, he's a member of a club already. And
It's a member of
of a club.
a Toastmaster Club already?
Yes.
Signing? Okay. Oh, so you...
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
I apologize for starting off a little bit behind schedule.
Yeah.
But I want to thank everyone for being here and being present to participate in our Toastmasters Day event. We have a lot of things going on today, and without further ado, what I'd like to do is bring up our esteemed president who has been with Toastmasters dedicating a time and effort to better our communication skills as well as himself. So please, let's give our president, Jesse Alvarado, a warm
Yeah, come on, Jesse.
Elmo!
Elbert. Welcome, Elbert. Good job. Well, good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. It's a pleasure being here with you again this Wednesday at 4 noon. July what, 17, 18?
Yes, 17.
17, perfect.
37.
What was that?
37 of July.
37. Okay. Yes.
That's wrong.
All right. And the fun just getting started. However, let's get started. You're going to start calling for our meeting roles. And for invocation, you're going to call Karina. Please all stand. And you're going to have Karina lead us with the invocation.
Okay, dear Lord, please guide us through as we start this Toastmaster meeting today. That every one of us will learn from the meeting to enhance ourselves, to groom ourselves, so we can be a better person. So guide us through the meeting, Lord, as we pray in your name. Amen.
Amen. Please remain standing. We're going to call for the pledge. We're going to call Mr. Voss to guide us with the pledge.
Please remain standing, put your hand over your heart, and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good job, boss. You may be seated. I like it. Sounds like a little more fun. Okay, now we're going to call our MC for the day, which will be our Toastmaster Day. None other than Mr. Adolfo Murataya coming up.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. We are going to have an energetic meeting today.
Yes.
And I'm Adolfo Morataya, I'm the VP of Education. And we're going to start directly with our mission statement from Elmer Dinoso, please.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Our mission statement. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth.
Thank you, Elmer.
All right.
Next, we have our accountor, none other than Beatrice Yuli.
Yes, drum roll. Okay. So you watch out when you guys are speaking. I'm going to listen to you very attentively, and this is my weakness actually, but I'm going to sharpen my skills. Just listening to you guys, and when you speak like with filler words such as, what must I say now? I'm going to catch you for that. Or, you know, and you know what I mean? You know what I mean? yo. I'm going to catch you for all that. So watch out for those words, okay?
All right.
Okay, next we have our grammarian, who is Ron Fisher, please. Tell us what a grammarian is.
The grammarian is, as the name implies, he who enforces the king's English. So my job is to assist everyone in using appropriate and effective English.
And you're going to tell us also, Roy, the word of the day.
The word of the day,
The word of the
please.
day. The word of the day is essence.
Essence.
Essence derives from what later be called Christians were Essenes, which are known through history because of the Dead Sea Scrolls. Prior to the organization of the church in the very late 190s, the Essenes were the Christianity, and they believed in the purity, the truth, the light, the core meaning of Christianity or of life, which is where we say the essence of life is, or the essence of the message is. It's derived from their before we had the title Christianity.
The word essence is a noun, right?
I think so. I think it can be used in lots of things. Essence of the message, the essence of the meaning of the word essence is that it's the core meaning of whatever you use the message is.
Sounds more like a
Thank you very
verb.
much. Thank you very much. Next, we have a very important person here that's going to measure something very important. That's our timer, Jesse Alvarado.
Be checking up what, I'll be the timer for today. A speech which is 5 to 7 minutes. When you speak for 5 minutes, a green light will turn on. At 6 minutes, a yellow light will turn on, and the red light will turn on 7 minutes, and then you have 30 seconds to wrap up. Now, for the evaluators, the evaluation is 2 to 3 minutes. So the green light will turn on in 2 minutes, yellow 2.5, and red 3 minutes, and you have 30 seconds to wrap up. Table topics is 1 to 2 minutes. Green light will turn on in 1 minute. Yellow light will turn on in 1.5, and red light will turn on at 2 minutes, and then you have 30 seconds to wrap up.
Great. Thank you very much. Okay, next we have the person that's going to tell us who wins, and that's the vote counter, Karina Tang. How are we going to do
Vote
especially
counter,
today?
that means after each topic, like the table topic and the speech of the day, after the speakers are done with their speeches, I will pass around this little gold basket. Then you will put your vote inside this basket, and then I will tabulate at the end of the meeting to see who wins the speech.
We don't have the ballots?
The ballots, can you explain briefly what happened with the ballots?
Yes,
There are
unfortunately
some
today,
ballots,
the
right? Some
ballot.
ballots in the back.
I don't think so.
And just for today, because we are out of the official ballots,
Uh-huh.
so this is going to replace the official ballots. You just put the name on this little sticky note,
Right.
fold it and put it in this basket.
Okay, so we don't have the official ballot, right?
For today. And then our secretary or supplier, whoever that is, will supply us with the ballot for the next meeting.
I think we only have 3 of them. I think, Vaz, did you?
Can we make copies of
Did
it?
you grab one to you?
She herself is a secretary.
Huh?
You're
Nancy,
the
did you get one?
secretary.
I know we had 3, so we want to provide you one, the
Oh,
ballot.
yeah, there. Okay. He can use that one.
Yeah.
Nancy can use that one.
But for us, when we sign like table topics, we use it, we just pass it along.
Sure.
We just-
That's
Do you
fine.
actually take this to the printer or how do you do it?
Huh?
Can take photocopy actually.
No,
No,
I
that's
have a
perfect.
lot at home, I
Oh,
just missed to bring them.
All right.
But for today, we use this
Great.
for us.
Okay, very good, that has been clarified, so I'm probably gonna do it. And following is the main activity of our club, which are the 2 main speakers.
Oh,
Alright.
Welcome, Scott.
Yes.
Take a seat. Make sure you sign your attendance sheet so we can mark it. All right, now, and before we do go ahead and start with the speakers, I wanted to clarify something. Let me ask, because you have had experience, Scott, would you like to be our general evaluator today?
Sure.
Okay, all right. So you'll give us an evaluation of the speakers and how everything works out. Now we can start because I was the only person missing here in the agenda, if you notice. Now, the first speaker is,
May I say something?
yes,
Just want to make sure that Scott has one of these yet on the agenda. I know we have a few floating around.
in the back, I think, there might be some. There you go. Okay, thank you. Yes. All right. Everybody has their agendas? Okay, good. For the third speaker, we're going to have an individual that happens to be an entrepreneur.
Oh,
Yeah.
entrepreneur.
And this individual is going to give us a speech in his competent communication manual, but who's going to describe us about it is going to be his evaluator. And his evaluator is none other than Beatrice Yuli. So please, Beatrice, tell us what Vaz is going to do.
Okay, Vaz is in competition with Karina, and he's on project number 6.
No, I thought it was Elmer.
Project number 6, vocal variety. So Vaz, what I'll be looking for is your volume, your pitch, your rate, and quality to reflect and add meaning and interest to your message. And then I'll be waiting for your pauses to enhance your message. And your vocal variety should be smooth and naturally, unlike what I did just now.
Not good. Very great.
Yeah.
Now,
And your
what's
time,
the time?
yeah, your time is 5 to 7 minutes.
Do you know the name of his
The
title?
name of
Title
his,
title?
Yeah, the title for his speech today is Turning Points in Life.
Turning Points in Life.
Yeah.
Now, with further ado, an entrepreneur, a person that's a lot of value for the club, been here almost a year already, right? Getting to a year. Not yet,
Close
but
to.
Not
No,
yet.
is it?
let's welcome
A few months.
Basuna Samarasinghe.
Can we wait for 5 seconds?
Where's the time?
I need a timer. Just give me a 5 seconds.
Let's wait 5 seconds.
Set up, breathe, deep breathe, inhale, exhale. Oh, it's supposed to be the
Okay. That's enough.
Go. Showtime.
Two roads diverge in a wood. I took the one less traveled. It has made all the difference. Robert Frost. Have you ever thought about in life the turning points? The direction that you choose will take in a different direction in life? Has that ever crossed your mind? Look back. It has happened to me. First turning point was when my family migrated to the US. Out of my control, of course. So I live a different life today. Otherwise, I'd be living in Sri Lanka. After going to school, I decided I need to find a job. So my father was against it. In my culture, the kids are supposed to go to school, not work while they're going to school. So I became a paper boy. I was out there throwing papers, right? Delivering papers. So it was difficult in the beginning because my father was against it. So I didn't want to do anything against what my father's wishes were, but I still decided to go to work. And of course, my work time was limited to certain hours of the day I could only work. It was fine with my father. As long as my work, my schoolwork, my homework was done on time. And then I said, you know, this is enough of delivering papers. It's time. I've come of age. I need to get a real job. So where did I go? To McDonald's. Have you guys had jobs at McDonald's? Anyone? Well, I had an interview. After the interview, I waited for a day, then I called. When do I start? Oh, we decided not to hire you. I said, what? Everybody gets a job at McDonald's, right? What? Talking about my self-esteem. It hit the ground. English is my second language. I said to myself, this is not right. I asked him, why? He said, because you don't have work experience. Well, how am I supposed to find work experience? Well, then I found out there was a program called ROP, Regional Occupancy Program. Have you heard? Regional Occupancy Program is a work for credits, school units. So I participated in the ROP program, Regional Occupancy Program, in Montclair. I worked at the mall. So for 9 weeks, I worked in the shoe store, Tom McCann. They're no longer around. So Tom McCann, I was stuck in the back of the shoe store stocking shelves for 9 weeks. Shoes come in, I have to put them up on the walls. And there's nothing to do. They made me shift walls. That means I have to move walls from one side to the other. Because I was free labor. And they had to occupy my time. So that was fine. And then eventually after my 9-week period, I was offered a job in sales. Now this is very difficult because English is my second language. I'm very shy. I had to meet and greet people. So my mom said one thing to me that I live by today. She said, you'll never see those people again, so you won't have to be afraid to talk to anyone. Now that's true. If you think about it. So I decided to go into shoe sales business. Even though I was a business major, this is perfect. I'll work my way up the ladder to reach what? Buyer. I wanted to be a buyer. Then along the way, I found out that there's a lot of politics involved when you work for someone, corporate America. Because I asked my supervisor the question, why is that guy still at his level? He said, because when he was at the same level as supervisor were, they had arguments. So when one guy was promoted, the other was never promoted at that point. So I said, I never want to work for anyone at that point. I also understood how my father was self-employed for most of his life. I wanted to be like him. So then I said, you know what, in 1992, I decided this is the change I was going to make in my career life. But prior to that, going back, in high school, I decided, you know what, I don't want to hang out with the people that I hang out with because they're too busy smoking, doing bad things in life. So what do? So I asked a friend of mine, what do you do? You always, after school, you always run off to go to sports. So I ran track. What do? I'm a pole vaulter. I said, what's that? I didn't know. He said, well, come after school and we'll see. So he explained what that event was. I decided to get involved. Another turning point in my life. I decided to participate in sports rather than hang out with friends that had no direction in life. So it made a drastic change in my life. I went to a school locally because it had, the coach who was there was an Olympian. I wanted to be coached by him. So I didn't want to go to a four-year university. I told my parents I wasn't accepted. It was a lie I told because I wanted to be coached by this individual. At that school, Mount San Antonio College, I met my son's mother. Turning point in my life! Boy! Eventually down the line, after going to Long Beach to continue my education, we ended up having my son. Another turning point. Years later, I said, okay, what am I going to do now? I've gone through different businesses in my life. So about a year and a half, a friend of mine told me about a company called Jeunesse. One other turning point in my life, where I put everything else I've done aside to focus on the business in hand. And what I see myself is the certain turning points in my life that has designed the life that I want to live and has changed the way I live life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. That was an actual and inspiring speech. So thank you very much for that. Really enjoying myself, that's it. Thank you. Everything okay?
Yeah.
Next we're going to have a second speaker, an individual who's always been a mentor to us. But before giving some words about him, we want to hear from the person that is going to evaluate him. And that is going to be Roy Fisher. Roy, can you tell us what the speech is going to be about?
Yes, this will be from the Competent Communications, number lesson 10, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And the executive summary is an inspirational speech to motivate an audience to improve personally, emotionally, professionally, or spiritually, relying heavily on emotional appeal. Brings the audience together in a mood of fellowship and shared desire, builds on the audience enthusiasm, then proposes a change or plan and appeals to the audience to adopt this change or plan. This speech will last longer than your previous talk, so make arrangements in advance with your Vice President of Education for the extra time. Presume you did that. Objectives: to inspire the audience by appealing to noble motives, challenging the audience to achieve higher level of beliefs or achievement. Appeal to the audience's needs, emotions, using stories, anecdotes, and quotes for added drama. Avoid using notes timed 8 to 10 minutes.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Roy. Now,
All right.
before calling Elmer, I wanted to mention the time is 8 to 10 minutes. It's an unusual time, right?
Yes.
It's one of the last. And also, I want to say that this person that is going to speak now, who's been almost a mentor to us, he's been a mentor to us because he has a lot of experience and in Toastmasters. Also, we can learn a lot when he speaks. But also, this individual is doing his second CC, Competent Communication. And he's completing today his second round as a Competent Communication Manager with the number 10 speech. So let's welcome with Forgado Elmer Dinoso.
All right, let's do a two-round.
March of every year, the world celebrates International Women's Month. I know it's July, so I would like to take this opportunity to pay honor to all the women in the world in general, and the two ladies here in particular, for whatever achievements they had made and their positive contribution to our society. Today I would like to pay a special tribute to two special women of my life. They're special to me because of what they had achieved and because of their character. First is my mother. My mother was an octomom. She has 8 children, but born separately, born apart, not born at the same time. She was just a regular mother, just like your mother probably. She has taught her children the values of life at our early age. She had taught us the value of cleanliness, because I remembered when I was young, me and my brother used to fight inside the house, and she would always tell us, if you want to kill yourself, go outside, I just clean the house. She had also taught us the value of justice, the sense of justice. Because every time we get into her nerve, she would tell us, someday you too would have daughters or you have kids. And I'm pretty sure they will turn out just like you. Karma. I came from a big family. My parents have 8 children. I was the second to the youngest. Unfortunately, when I was 8, my father passed away, leaving to the sole responsibility of my mother raising 8 children. And at the time, 7 out of 8 children are in school, 3 are in college. I was still wondering how my mother was able to pull it through with no education. She just finished 6th grade. I remembered vividly that she had worked as a cook in the school cafeteria. She also worked as a salesperson. She buys and sells stuff that has value, that could add to the finances. My oldest brother, who was in college, offered to quit school, but my mother didn't want to hear about it. She had instilled in our minds the value of education, because she would always tell us that education is important. It is something that cannot be taken away from you, unlike material wealth. Summer was no fun at the time because we had to help out. I had to peddle popsicles around the town and earn commission from the sales for the entire day. My sisters, my other siblings will do the same way. They would sell snacks from town to town, from place to place, just to get by every day. Life was tough, but still my mom was able to pull it through. Amazing. In spite of raising 8 children, she was able to join other civic and religious organizations in our town. I guess she was already practicing networking even before that word was coined and became famous nowadays. When the dust settled, so to speak, she was rewarded. Her eldest son became a lawyer. 3 children became school teachers. 1 became a police officer. 1 became an accountant. And the 2 didn't finish college, but at the same time landed a decent job to get by. And most important of all, she was awarded Outstanding Mother of the Year award given to the local government unit sometime in the late 70s. 5 months ago, she joined our Creator. She passed away at a ripe age of 92. She will always be remembered and will be loved. The second person I want to pay tribute to is my wife's mother, my mother-in-law.
What?
You might be surprised why a son-in-law is paying tribute to a mother-in-law.
What?
I know when we hear the word mother-in-law, what comes to our mind is stereotyped meddler, nagger, one who interferes in the affair of her children. As a matter of fact, if you have pen and pencil, if you write down mother-in-law and you jumble the letters, 2 words will come out. Woman Hitler. Woman Hitler. But my mother-in-law was not a Hitler. Although when I first saw her, she has a mean look. She looks like really a woman Hitler. But beyond that surface, beyond that face, beyond that facial expression, is a person with a pure heart. A very supportive person. When we started here in America, she was there to back us up, to support us, with not expecting anything in return. When my child was growing up, she had took care of my son from the day he was born to his teenage years. He never meddled with us. He stayed with us for 20 years. He lived with us, but never, not a single moment, she had interfered with us. If there are some marital problems between me and my wife, she gave us space. You will hear nothing from her. That's why every time I talk to my friends about my mother-in-law, I would always tell them, my mother-in-law is an angel. She's so kind, pure heart. And my friend would always say, you're so lucky. My mother-in-law is still alive.
Angel and alive.
2 amazing persons. 2 amazing women. My mother-in-law passed away last year. She was 96. And she always had that memory of a loving, kind person. A beautiful lady, in and out. She could be a Hitler looking on the outside, but an angel deep inside. A very supportive person, loving. The year when she passed, it was so devastating for all of us. Even her own family was kind of jealous about me, because she always treated me as like her own son. Sometimes I even thought I was the biological son and my wife was the daughter-in-law. That's how the way she treated me. I would really miss her. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 amazing women, strong-willed, good character. They will always be remembered. Mr. Toastmaster.
All right.
Very good, thank you for that, Andrew, we appreciate it, and because this is especially the second round ending, let's give him a round of applause for that. And that was truly, I think, everybody feels when talking about the two women that were your life, you know, they think strongly about it and you caught our attention. So that was a great speech. And next we're gonna go to a session that is gonna make us think. We're gonna have the Toastmaster for table topic session coming, and that is none other than our secretary, Karina Teng. Yes.
And we're supposed to call for the attendance report?
You're right, I'm sorry, yes, you're correct. Thank you, Mr. President of our club. You're correct, I'm supposed to call for the timer's report. So let's ask our timer, Jesse.
Okay. Okay, the boss spoke for 6 minutes and 24 seconds. He qualifies for time. And Elmer, he spoke for 8 minutes and 39 seconds. His speech was from the range from 8 to 10. Elmer qualifies for time also.
All right.
Yeah.
And next, we have our table topic sessions with our secretary.
Vote for speaker.
What?
Can we vote first?
What's happening to me?
Okay, I want to vote. I'm going to pass out this one here.
So please
Here.
vote for the best speaker.
Take one and pass it around.
Why do I want to go to the table topics so fast?
Because you want to speak
Yeah.
essence of life.
Can I get one? One more.
Thank you for that one.
Just take one and pass it around. Free to vote. Vote.
Karina, of course, you have to collect the votes after the team.
I got
I
it.
got it. You put it in, right?
Yes, it's in there.
Now, next, am I right? We're gonna go for the table topic
Yeah,
session.
finally.
And please, let's welcome our secretary, Karina Teng.
Yeah.
Finally, it's my turn. Okay, I have the table topics. And the word of the day is essence. Pure, true, core meaning. And let's see who can have a very, very good explanation of this word and how they can put it into some kind of a speech, 1 to 2 minutes long, and can really let us understand what's the meaning of this word. I'm going to give up 3 questions. And don't forget to include this word in your speech. Otherwise, you will be automatically disqualified.
Oh my gosh.
So maybe sometimes when you get so enthusiastic, you kind of get away and then forget all about what you're doing up here. My first question.
But explain what table topics is all about to the newcomers. Can you do that?
What table topic is about?
Yeah,
What is it
about impromptu speaking and how you have to speak only for your timing and all
Oh,
that
the
kind.
table topics is about 1 to 2 minutes long.
Yeah,
And in the body of the speech, you have to include the word at least 1 time.
yeah.
And the word of the day for today is essence, which means pure, true, core meaning. So you have to think, so you have, when you do your table topics, you have to kind of respond to the questions that I'm going to ask and how you can incorporate that into a 1 to 2 minute speech. Okay, my first question. Imagine if you have a clock that you can turn the time backwards. turn it back maybe 20, 30 years backwards.
Oh,
When you
wow.
were
he's
about,
too young for that.
Born.
He's not even born.
when you were about maybe
5 years.
10 years old, 20 years old, and some of them maybe 30 years old, I don't know. Anyway, if you can turn your clock backwards about 20, 30 years, what is the one thing that you wish you can change it and do it all over again? The one thing, not 1 year all. The one thing that you can turn around and change it and do it all over again.
Turning point of life.
Can I have Adolfo?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
he's so happy.
Okay. Let's see. Let me go back 20 years.
20 years.
When you were 10 years old?
20 years. When I was
40.
I don't remember now. Let's say 20 years ago, I'm just 1993, right? 1993. Oh, okay, 1993. I think, if you remember, that's about a year after the first Gulf War in the Middle East. You know, I wish at that time, though, I would have been more participant with the community, with my friends, about getting the essence of what was going on. Right, with this war and this mentality and this craziness about war, oh, they are going to kill us, oh, no weapons of mass destruction. And all. Then because I kind of knew that that was just like a fake thing, you know, going for the oil or for whatever political reasons. But I never liked the idea that people were dying there, and, you know, for no reason. I mean, and I wasn't that participant. So I would go back and be more participant, because I think one makes a change, one can make a difference. When you talk to friends, when you talk to different individuals, and you know that you know, and anytime you get the occasion that you can transmit that feeling that you have, desire that you want to communicate about, you know, what's going on here, what is again the essence of what's going on, then, you know, I think I would have felt more satisfied. Something I wish I would have done. Mr. Taylor, Miss Taylor. Miss
Second question. Elmer just gave us a very good speech. And then I just realized that March is the month for women. Is it
July?
International. Oh, it's March, yeah.
It's March. Is it an international thing?
Yeah,
That
International
March is
Women's
the
Month.
month, a Women's Month. Oh, something that I learn every day, you know, something new. So he just gave a very good speech about women, about his mother-in-laws and his mother. I don't know if there's a month for father. I don't know. But so let's give all these guys a chance here. Okay, gentlemen,
Everyone.
just imagine, gentlemen, just for this next 5-10 minutes, imagine yourself as a woman.
No, thank you.
Imagine, imagine yourself as a woman. So think of the one thing that you do not want your daughter-in-law or your son-in-law, the one thing that you do not want them to talk about you. One thing they do not want them to talk about you, and the one thing that you really want them to talk about you. So it's two things, the pros and the cons. But now you are a woman.
So it has
The
to
lucky
be a
guy?
man. The lucky guy.
Sorry, lucky woman, Mr. Fisher.
That's
For 2
fishy.
minutes, young lady.
Karina enjoys it.
That's fishy. Why should
Be in character now, Roy.
Show me what you got.
Now I have to mentally adjust yourself now.
core of the problem, the essence of it all is, I like women. Always have. Unfortunately, they like me. Well, if I had a mother-in-law situation, where I'm the mother-in-law, I'm the mother, and I don't want something being talked about with me, thinking from my experience of what women don't like having people talk about, I think I don't want them talking about my sex life. Have you ever noticed that, the most avoided subject for a mother with her family is the sex life. Obviously, the kids were brought by the stork. That's the core of it, is that you can talk about sex maybe in certain circumstances, but not about mama's sex. And talking about her boyfriends is just off the table. So, all right, so what to talk about? What would a woman want to be talked about by her children, essentially, or in-law children, etc.? What a good mother she is. Every woman is like every other human being, want to be thought of as good and having done a good job. Everybody, even if you know you did a rotten job, and I got to tell you, I've done a rotten job on a lot of stuff in my life. You want to talk about how to do things wrong? Come talk to me. I know how to do it. You want to know about relationships? I can tell you how to do it. It's really good. But if I was a woman and that was my daughter, my daughter-in-law, that would be the one thing I would want them to be talking about, is what a good mom I was.
A good mom with a wonderful sex life.
Yep.
Third and last question. Now this is something serious. Let's change it. Change it to something serious.
Like fun stuff.
Let's go into religion.
Oh,
Serious topic.
Serious?
Religion. There's a lot of different type of religion. Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, all kinds. Some people believe in Christianity, some don't, some choose Buddhism. If there's one topic about religion, and I mean one common topic that is common among all the religions, regardless of Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, whatever, one common topic that you do not like about, you do not like. What is this one common topic that you want to talk about? You do not like, it's not that you like it, you do not like about it. And this one topic is among all these different religions.
He's staring at
Scott.
Whoa!
For myself, I was growing up as a Buddhist in my household, and throughout the years, growing up, I didn't know exactly what the essence of Buddhism was truly about until when I got older and really experienced life in its different situations. But now today, I have the freedom of choice to kind of divert and see what kind of religions and what they kind of preach. And from what I've experienced for myself, my own personal beliefs, is that I believe there's an ultimate higher power. And with that, I kind of relate it to water. Water, everybody needs it for life. It's the source of life. We're all kind of made up of water, 70%, and it's pure, everything you need. And without water, life would not exist. What I believe some religions kind of do is that they take water and add their little additive, maybe a little sugar, a little spice, and maybe the soda, you like it. It tastes good, doesn't it? Gives you energy. And they take it, and people like drinking it. And it creates another category. Oh, here's some tea. Right? I have my little additive in it. Doesn't it taste good? It hydrates you. So eventually what you get is you get all these different type of religions. You know, different sects, different Hinduism, Christianity, Islam, I mean, you name it. And in essence, when you look at the core, they all preach the same thing. Helping other people, believing in something bigger than yourself, having faith. So I believe if we all go back to the core of just drinking pure water, I think we all come back to our true self and really feel the connection to a higher power. Thank you.
All right.
This concludes our table topic for the day, and every one of them give us a very,
Inspiration.
gave us a very nice speech.
Yes.
So let's think about 3 different speakers. Now we need to get the timer report
Yes.
from Jesse.
Okay. Adolfo spoke for 1 minute and 47 seconds, qualified for time. Roy, he spoke for 2 minutes and 20 seconds, he also qualified for time. Scott spoke for 1 minute and 37 seconds, he also qualified for time.
That's good. So at least they passed the first test. Now the second test. Let's have our grammarian to talk about if they use the word and they...
Well, yes, everybody used the word. That's great. And everybody used it correctly. That's even better. Some of the words that have been up, didn't know what they meant, so. That's all right. I was just born here. What should I know about words? Which can be a real handicap, by the way. So did everybody use it? Yes. That's what we're looking for.
Thank you, Roy. Now it's time for everyone to vote for the best table topic speaker.
All right. Thank you, thank you. You voting? Beatrice?
Oh, this is this. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Now return the control to Mr. Toastmaster.
All right, well, thank you, Karina.
All right.
Good job. Round of applause to Karina, please. Thank you very much, thank you very much. Next, we're gonna follow and go directly to our general evaluator to take care of this next section. For our general evaluator, it's gonna be an individual who's been with us for over a year before, right? You've been with us for over a year. And Scott had to leave us for a while because he had business to do and he couldn't continue being a member, but now he came back and he says he wants to be a member. So that's great, we welcome him, and let's welcome him now to be, for him to be our general evaluator today, Scott Yanakuchi.
All right, it's good.
Thank you, Adolfo. So very privileged to be the general evaluator for today's meeting. I know we have 2 great speeches by Roy and, no, not by Roy, sorry, by Adolfo and Elmer. And we're going to have 2 groups. So Elmer and Voss, and we're going to have some 2 great evaluators evaluating their speeches. So first I'd like to bring up Miss Beatrice Woolley to come up and evaluates Voss's speech. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jones.
All right,
Okay, everyone wake up. You're all sleeping. Okay, what do I say about Vaz? Oh, he is pleasant, he's natural, he's forceful, he's expressive, and he's easily heard. Agree with me?
Yes.
Or is
Oh,
that
yes.
too much? Okay, so did he meet the objectives to his speech? Yes, he did. With when it comes to volume, we did notice that in his speech there were turning points in the volume, like high and low, and especially when he got this, when he wasn't selected in McDonald's, he said, McDonald's. So I said, okay, that's high. So, so his pitch, his rate, his quality, I think were pretty good. And it says here to rate him either as excellent, satisfactory, or too loud or too soft. So, to be fair, there were certain places where you went a little low, soft, and I was wondering why. It didn't have to be that soft in that place, and for the first few turning points, that was like 1 to 4, the pitch was consistent. So I wish that it could have been, if I would recommend that you would make a few changes, that you could say just change the pitch, and that would have showed vocal variety. For example, when it came to the rate, that means the number of words that you were speaking, I could feel like an intuition, like they say women have that, right? So, so anyway, when I looked at him, I was like, he looked like he was in a hurry in the beginning and preoccupied to get his point across. But after a little while, he kind of like relaxed and he got easy with himself, because the battle was going on with himself. That's what I felt. Correct me if I'm wrong. We can meet in the parking lot. So yeah, okay, I'm watching the timer. And then I was longing that while you were at it, maybe if you had to pause a little bit, because it looked like you were like thinking really far ahead and you wanted to like finish it off. It looked like that in the beginning. And then you relaxed, and then I was waiting for you to pause, because it says here pause. And that's the part I can never do. I don't know what it is to pause, because I have the same feelings. I want to finish it off, and I don't want to pause. But slowly I'm getting there. And so that's where I see myself in you there. And so pauses is one thing that I would say could improve. And yeah, with that I should say you did a very good job and always shining bright like was.
And that's the way to end the evaluation.
Yeah, hey, we got that. Hey, we learned what not to do.
Thank you, Beatrice, for your evaluation. Next, we'll have Roy Fisher evaluating Elmer on his speech about his mother-in-law and not their sex life.
How many of you feel comfortable talking about your mother's sex life? With her? See?
We have a teenager here.
I rest my. Do you feel comfortable talking about your mother about her sex life? Talking about your friend to your friends about your mother's sex life. I rest my case. It's always a delight to be able to listen carefully to a very accomplished speaker like Elmer. It really is. And the fact that he's going through the same presentation manual again to refine his skills is even more impressive. It shows a real desire to grow. Perhaps because I was in a position of actually listening carefully to the techniques of the speech and the content of the speech instead of just the emotions of the speech, I was able to notice that Elmer, at several points, 3 or 4 significant points, paused and backed up just slightly to correct his English. So that it appeared to me that perhaps you'd practiced this speech a few times before. And if you're going to be giving a speech, you may have heard of a guy that was pretty famous for speaking, by the name of Winston Churchill. He's said to have never, ever given an extemporaneous speech in his entire life. Every speech he gave was written out and memorized before being given. Why? Because it allows us to really focus on using the right words, the concise words, the direct words, and therefore get, let me pitch my own self, get to the essence of things. And the essence of it is that Elmer is doing a great job of refining his English, which is a big part, especially for Toastmasters here at Southern California. It's a great opportunity to learn American English, which is very different. American English is very different. If I talk like this and I go to Australia, they won't understand. But as part of the job of the evaluator, I'm supposed to be able to find a critique. The subject is to inspire your audience to action. Unfortunately, although I thought that the two women are brilliant stories about wonderful women, I didn't really hear a challenge to achieve, change, do anything. So if the point of the speech is to inspire, perhaps next time that you give it, you might want to just think about what it is first that you're going to inspire people to do, and then build a speech around that rather than around the character of the women. Women are great. And your mom and your mother-in-law, great women. What was the inspiration? So that being said, as always, it's a great, and even though it may sound like flattery, it's not, because those of us that are sitting out there get to see your growth over time, and it's really an inspiration, so thank you.
All right. For evaluation. Now we'll have the timer's report for both evaluations.
Yes. We have Beatrice. She spoke for 3 minutes, 11 seconds. She qualifies for time.
Yes.
Roy, he spoke for 3 minutes and 50 seconds. He did not qualify for time.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you, Jesse.
All right.
Due to time qualifications, I guess we don't have to vote today.
Yeah.
Beatrice will be.
At last. You can't mess with me anymore.
So now I'd like to call on Grammarian for the all report for today for the overall speeches.
Not the grammarian.
Grammarian.
The art.
Oh,
kind of. All right. So with Vaz, Vaz has become so good. Seriously, I'm not hitting on you. Don't look at me like.
Your husband.
I'm like, no way. So, well, you said English is my second language twice, and maybe you didn't have to.
Okay. Emphasis.
Yeah, it was like, slap my face. English is my second language. No. And so that was it with Vaz. And Elmer, you had a little bit, I couldn't get any filler words, but a little bit of stuttering. Like you said, and then you said, okay, and then you said jealous, and then you came back and you said jealous again. You said like jealous, and then you said jealous again. Forgive me for that, for being so frank. Now Adolfo said,
I'm jealous.
Adolfo, you said, well, if I'm able to hear you clearly next time, I need some more words. Because right now, you got only one word. And that's like, you said that. So I caught that one. So I may be wrong. So then Roy, you said like, you said that. Typical American. And Scott just got, let me count, oh my goodness. Scott got 0. He's so good and polished and so that's about Scott. So that's it.
Thank you, Beatrice.
Yeah.
So now I'd like to give my quick evaluation on today's meeting. I'm glad today kind of started on time, even though I was a little bit late. I apologize for that. But definitely glad to see everybody here. I guess one thing I want to go to is the mission statement. So we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. So even for myself, I've been away for several months, but coming back here, I can definitely see the growth in this, and everyone here individually and as a group too, which is kind of great to see that over time, maybe every week you may not see a noticeable difference, but over time you'll definitely see a lot more confidence, a lot more polished speaking, and a lot of personal growth, which is great to see, and definitely want to see that continue here. So I think as long as we can expand our membership here, we can have more people, a lot of more new people develop and be at the same level as well. And that's my main message for today. And I'd like to give back to Toastmaster Rodolfo.
Yay!
All right. Thank you. Give him a round of applause. Good job.
Twice.
With that said, it's been a pleasure to be Toastmaster for today, and I return control to our president, Jesse Abraham.
All right.
Jesse.
Definitely it's
Give
been
me the award now.
well, hold on. It's not going to be that easy.
Oh, it's very easy now.
All right, well now we're going to pass out our noise movie up to 12, up to 1. We're going to pass out our awards. And we're going to call the best table topic for the day. And we have 3 speakers, right? Table topic. We had Adolfo, Roy, and Scott. And who would that be? Let's go, Scott Janaguchi! All right, smile.
Yeah.
Cheese.
Hold it right there.
Paparazzi.
Get this for the collection. Smile. Smile.
All right, good job, good job. All right. And we're also going to call for the best speaker. And we have TMjuly.
What?
No, I mean Boss.
What?
Easy. Relax.
You're so good, you're also good.
We have Boss, Mr. Ramasinge, and Elmer Dinoso. That's
Right, hurry up and say it fast.
All right, we don't have, actually run out of ribbons for this speaker. I'm going to give you a first timer.
Imagine.
Let's go. Okay, well, who would that be? Let's go, Mr. Elmer Dinoso. Yeah. First timer. First timer award. All right.
Okay, wait a minute.
All right, good job.
Thank you.
There you go.
First time I got the ribbons.
I actually think it's the first time you spoke for 8 to 10 minutes. I think so. I think so here. And the next one. Who would that be? You already know. Come on, Beatrice July.
Or best evaluator.
That's the evaluator, absolutely. Here you go.
Say cheese.
Wait, one more.
All right, good job. Okay, we're finished with the awards in recognition to all the speakers. Do we have any announcements? Oh, full award, Mr. Elmer.
Well, one suggestion I was going to say is, I just want to say, just for the record, because we have a new guest, I'm the VP of Education, Adolfo Morataya. I've been here for about a year and 8 months, something
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
And I would like to suggest to go around and identify, and maybe our guest can tell us a little
Okay.
bit about himself and what he thinks about it.
Okay, that's, you're gonna share with us, what's your experience here today with the club? You wanna stand and just kinda, if we say,
Alright, I definitely like the energy that I saw in this club. It looks structured, so I mean, in my other club we tended to start maybe 15 minutes late at times.
yes, yes,
But I really like the energy. You know, I feel the bond here between you guys. So
yes.
it's a good group.
All right, good job. Well, yeah. So is it recommendable if we just share a little bit of ourselves? I mean, it's 10 minutes up.
Anybody would like to write down?
We can all introduce.
Karina?
Anybody, is it a good idea that if anybody wants to go back to the Tuesday night meeting, to attend Bobby's meeting? Just to, because I feel like we can learn from that meeting. It's a
Yeah.
little bit different from ours.
Absolutely.
So it's something they can learn from the way they present the meeting, they conduct the meeting, the way the speakers speak. So I think it might be a
Yes.
good idea that we can
Yeah.
make arrangements to go there as a group,
Yes.
just to attend the meeting. So
And
we
it-
can like have the time like in advance to set a date, so maybe we can try and make it.
Yes.
I like, and you know, and then you can tell from their meeting and compared to our meeting, the pros and cons.
Absolutely. I agree, because you know that the club, as you know, they have a lot of seasoned people that have been in the club for many, many years. They're actually very experienced
Mhm.
and probably speak and can always learn what these people, you know, the professionals are doing to really implement in our club, and also learn from them the way that they improve and the public speaking skills.
What
So
time is
absolutely.
their meeting? Like 7?
7:30, isn't it?
Oh, 7:30?
7 and Tuesdays,
Oh,
right?
Is
7.
it 7 or 7:30? I don't know.
7.
7?
Look at that.
Oh, you know, or maybe, just maybe on the day that we decided to go, we can get together earlier and have a little dinner together. For
Absolutely.
fellowship time.
Now, with that, we can schedule something, unfortunately, I can't make it, I have business meetings every Tuesday, 7 p.m. But those who can attend, I think it would be a good idea to maybe, I don't know, once every 2 weeks, just get together and just go out there and learn and make it a fun event at the same time. Anything else? That's it, okay, with this, one more thing, I got some special announcements for the officers. I'll be giving you a call and keep you updated, things are coming up, but I'll be giving you a call personally. Other than that, the meeting has adjourned. All right.
Yes. Chasing College.